Groundhog Day 2024. Date, history, meaning and everything you need to know about this day. Groundhog Day is a tradition of weather forecasting and holiday celebrations. From the date and history to the meaning, here's everything you need to know. On Groundhog Day, our old friend the groundhog will come out of hibernation and make a prediction about whether winter will bring even more frost this year. Folklore says that if a groundhog sees its shadow, it will go back into hibernation and the freezing weather will continue for several more weeks. If not, warming is expected on the horizon. The ground squirrel, formerly known as Marmota monax, is colloquially known as the marmot. The names marmot, beaver, whistler and even whistling pig are used to refer to the same species. Whatever its name, there is a strong belief that this small burrowing mammal has a special connection with the second day of February and can predict the weather. In many places in the United States and Canada, Groundhog Day is celebrated with an emphasis on ceremonial proclamations and good cheer. Scroll down to learn more about this event. Date and history of Groundhog Day 2020. For Groundhog Day, celebrated every year on February 2nd, has its origins in ancient European customs, especially those associated with Candlemas. On February 2nd, Christians celebrated Candlemas, a holiday that fell between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. Throughout Europe, it was believed that if Candlemas had been sunny, there would have been 6 more weeks of winter. This custom was brought to the United States by German immigrants, where it coexisted with various cultural practices. The most famous Groundhog Day event takes place in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, and is associated with the current version of the holiday. It is said that if a groundhog comes out of his hole on February 2nd and sees his shadow due to clear weather, he will return to his hole, which means 6 more weeks of winter. If the weather is cloudy and he cannot see his shadow, he will remain outside, indicating early spring. Punxsutawney Phil is the most famous groundhog in the United States, having been predicting the weather since the late 1800s, thanks in part to Bill Murray's 1993 comedy Groundhog Day, which further popularized the event. Punxsutawney's annual Groundhog Day celebration attracts thousands of tourists and has become an iconic event in American culture. Meaning of Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day is an important traditional holiday based on weather forecasts and mythology. It marks the midpoint between the spring equinox and the winter solstice. It is said that on this day the groundhog returns to his hole, which means 6 more weeks of winter if he comes out of his hole on this day and notices his shadow because the weather is clear. On the other hand, if the weather is cloudy and he cannot see his shadow, he will remain outside, indicating early spring. Beyond its association with weather, Groundhog Day has become a social phenomenon, especially in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, where the holiday is best known. It provides an opportunity for communities to come together in anticipation of the approaching change of seasons and serves as a joyful celebration of them.